Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Let's Get You Painted. Today, I am joined by one of my co-hosts from the Atlanteans, Jay. Jay, how are you doing today?
Doing good. How you doing, Alec?
I
Good to see
am
you guys.
doing I'm doing amazing. I'm getting ready for life-changing experiences, and
Yep.
that is what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm excited. But
About
I'm
time.
also
You've been
I'm
talking about it for a long time.
Yeah, it turns out trying to get some surgeries scheduled and actually get them all done, that can take a little bit longer than what I would personally want. So it's
Yep.
okay, but it's happening.
That's
So,
good.
Jay, tell everybody a little bit about yourself. So who are you and what do you do and what do you paint?
Hi, guys. My name's Jay Powell. Um, I'm a co-host on the Atlanteans with Alec and Joe. I'm also the coordinator for the Atlanteans. It used to be the Hampton Road Atlanteans, but we've changed our name recently. We're a Norfolk, Virginia-based Warmachine community. The community's existed since about 2016. Before that, I was the organizer for a community at Huzzah Hobbies in Northern Virginia, and then also at Game Parlor before that in Northern Virginia. So I've been organizing and playing games and press ganging and a lot of for privateer press for a long time. I've also played a number of other games. 40K, Warhammer Fantasy, Bolt Action. Um, I've done stuff in all sorts of different genres: sci-fi, historical, fantasy, etc. But Warmachine has always been my favorite game.
Okay. And what would you say is your favorite faction in War Machine?
Army-wise, it's Kador. Um,
You
I
you,
guess
you don't have to go
faction-wise,
into like play
faction-wise, it's
wise.
Kador. Yeah,
Okay.
faction-wise is Kador. Army-wise, I'm sort of in a bit of a struggle point with that right now. Um, I don't have an army that's like this is if I had to show up for an event any day, anytime, it would be the one I would pick up and walk in with. Most recently, I've been playing Old Umbry. Um, Before that, Winter Corp. I've played Orgoth, and I'm not saying like I faction jump. I definitely did that in Mark III. I would jump every 3 or 6 months. Um, Now I spend more like half a year to a year on an army and then switch. Um, and as you can see from my sitting in my on my paint queue, I have Buck Casker, who is the starter bot caster for Gravediggers, which is the army that as soon as the Journeyman League I'm running ends, is the army I'm going to be jumping into, and so he's the one I'll be painting today.
Okay. I also have grave diggers. I enjoy them as well. Uh,
Yep,
it's definitely one of those armies that
it's
I've been playing just because it's different. It's definitely different than what I'm used to.
I haven't played them yet. I definitely when the Bandit model got shown off and the rules got put out, that's definitely what spurred me to look at the faction closer. We haven't really had a dedicated, active Gravediggers player in
Oh
my
yeah, I guess I
community
moved
yet.
away. I got
You moved
into it and then
away.
moved.
We had a new guy recently, like, oh, I'm going to totally play them and I'm going to buy the whole faction, and he did, and then he stopped showing up.
Oh,
And so we haven't had someone that really has played them, and so I haven't really seen them on the table and how their mechanics work. And looking at them, I'm excited for it. They feel a lot like the Jacks, feel a lot like sort of the heavy, slower armored presence that I remember from Kador in like Mark Three, Mark Two, and Mark Three, mixed with sort of the lighter combined arms shooting of like a Signar army from that time period as well,
hmm.
and then getting to airdrop jacks onto my army as Jack Marshall is just cool.
Yeah.
And that's the mechanic that really excited me with Bandit. But then looking at it and seeing how it applies to the rest of the army seems really cool too.
I really want to airdrop weapons in on my units, but I'm like, oh man, it'd be better just to drop a jack.
Yeah,
And that's yeah.
So you're looking at that 5 points, and you're like, is it worth the cost? Like, I put it on a heavy jack that could get killed right away. It makes him 5 points more, which really, if the jack is cheap, it makes it sort of in the more expensive side of a heavy jack, but it gives it an extra weapon. But am I getting 5 points worth of life from a gun that maybe will shoot 2 or 3 times during the game? Or is it better to drop in a 24 health jack that could hold up a line or score at a point? Or if you drop the skirmisher, allow a unit that really isn't good at melee to suddenly be able to charge and murder a heavy jack by themselves? I mean, stuff like that.
Oh no, I know.
Blank is a drug.
I've man, it's very humorous. Or I'm like, oh, I can't wait to do this, and then I have never in my play style ever dropped the weapon. I've always dropped the turret, or not the turret, the jack, or one of the jacks.
So I think I'm gonna force myself to paint the weapons first and play a couple games without the option of jacks, just to see if it's actually worth it. But in the long run, I think I'm in the same boat, and I will probably never drop a jack. Not drop a jack.
Yeah, it's. I also like the idea of hot dropping in a jack. It kind of reminds me of Titanfall and Titanfall 2. Dropping dropping a Titan in. That's what
I've
sticks in
literally
my
been
head.
saying that to myself. Titan inbound for
Yeah,
the last 2 weeks,
that's
thinking about it in my head as I'm plotting out ideas and stuff like that. So I get that
it's
completely.
yeah. I really enjoyed painting some of my gravediggers. They're actually all put away right now. I guess I have a couple out. I
Yeah.
have the casters out because I was touching up the casters and I was doing what do you call it, the stamping from Goblin Hobbies. They were
Yep.
super
Yeah.
awesome and they sent me that thing. So I was
Yeah. I saw the
having some.
pictures you posted on Facebook. They look good.
Yep, I have one of their videos is going to be going out a little bit later, and that's another cool thing that's going to be happening. I'm excited about
Yeah,
that. I have a lot of good things happening for the channel. So Jay, what is one of your favorite
really.
things you have painted recently, and then what is one of your favorite things you have painted ever?
Okay. Well, recently I have a good example right now sitting in front of me. So I actually just finished I have a couple examples. So I just finished this Primeval. So I'm playing in a Journeyman League,
Hmm.
and I'm playing Old Umbry right now, and we're just about to go to 100 points, and so I've sort of been adding in the last couple of things. And so I just got this Primeval done, and I'm really happy with him. Um, I think he's pretty nice. I think that maybe I like Starved, who I painted earlier in the league, a little bit better. I like his fur a little better, and I like his base a little better, I think.
I like his
But
fur a lot. His fur looks really, really good.
yeah, it took a lot of work to figure out how to do it. And it's a susceptible amount of layers. It's
I
basically
believe
like
that.
you paint him once, he's too bright, you wash it down with some contrast paint, and then you re-highlight him. So, but yeah, he was pretty fun to paint. But then I think of all of the models I've painted recently that are my favorite, I think I have to actually say this guy. He's the new Fane character beast.
Oh
He's
yeah.
actually, I would not say, I would say he's not 100% done. I maybe would want to go back in and highlight the skin, the flesh a little bit more, make the give the metals a little bit more contrast than they have now, and maybe
Hmm.
highlight the sandstone a little bit more. But I just love this model, and I love the way he came out.
It does look good. I really like the Fane pieces. I don't know if I'll
Yep.
ever play them, but I'm definitely gonna
Um,
start to buy them just for IKRPG as
yeah,
bad guys.
yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm sort of I have a starter box, and I was planning to do more. I was planning to maybe do 50 points of them.
Hmm.
And the more I look at it, I'm like, I could paint this whole faction. I don't really want to play this whole faction, but I could paint this whole faction.
Well, don't get me wrong. Like the
So,
rules look cool for the faction.
yep.
I'm getting myself ready for New Menoth. That's New Menoth
I mean,
is
yeah,
where it's at for me. That's
that makes sense.
it's yeah.
So, Alec,
I
I've known
yes
you
sir.
now for 3 or 4 years. And in that time,
Uh,
you've had access to a bunch of new armies that have just sort of been sitting around.
2022.
Like yeah, armies you got for your son, uh, new gravediggers that you swore you were going to play, and every time we've had a competitive event or something where you have an opportunity to play in public with people outside of our community, you have always chosen Menoth. So the fact
Yes.
that you're excited about getting ready to paint and play new Menoth doesn't shock me in the least.
I know. I don't think so. And I have owned every faction in Warmachine that there's been. At one point in time, I've owned every faction. I think the most armies I ever owned at one point in time was 14 different armies, 14 different factions. Like you're
I
the
can't say
same as
that
me.
for Mark IV, but I can say that for Mark III. I'm the same boat for Mark III.
I mean, well, I haven't owned that many in Mark IV. Like I only own.
Yeah,
So let's see. I
yeah.
only own
But at
Gravediggers
the end of
and
Mark III, I had 2 armies for all 15 factions.
yeah, it's one of those things.
At
And
least 2 armies for all 15 factions.
I think the only thing I've ever done is I've taken Grimkin to one steamroller once, and I felt bad because when I was there, someone's like, Grimkin, they're painted beautifully, but I never expected you to play Grimkin. And I was like, you're right, it was a mistake.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I played a lot of armies for different things. Mark III, I switched like every 3 to 6 months. I had 15 armies, so I was able to do that. But and let me tell you, the only time I didn't really switch in Mark III was Infernals. And that's because Infernals in Mark III was basically like an Infernals army and then 6 sub-armies that you could mix Infernals into,
yeah.
which was so phenomenal because I had all those other armies. I had to buy a couple of casters here and there, but man, I miss playing Infernals Menoth.
Oh yeah, with Fiora.
That was yep. And there were 3 different Fioras or 4 different Fioras, so you had a wide variety of how your army could function and what stuff you could do just because Fiora was the caster. Where like
Oh yeah.
Signar, the only option was Sloane.
Yeah, I never actually agreed with Sloane being the Infernalist either.
I mean the reason that they gave for her being the Infernalist was pretty like they didn't have a reason they could give for another caster to be it. But like
Maddox, she hated Menoth. She was angry at Morrow. She was like she had been tortured by, I could see her. That was who I wanted. I
yeah, but
wanted.
she was dedicated to the Stormblade, the Storm Knight, and the Kingdom of Signar. Like she is like the poster girl of dedication to your country.
Yes, but what's his name? There was one of the Infernalists who was super loyal to Leto, and the reason he made um the reason he made his packs was to try to save Leto. So that does happen.
I don't remember that, but okay.
Um, he was the general that opened the gates. They like he originally did it so that they would help him win a battle against Kador when Kador was invading in, and then he eventually, like, as the Infernals got more and more of a grip into him, he finally went over completely. It wasn't actually like actual caster. He was just one of like a loyalist.
The swordsman guy?
Yeah,
Uh,
that was his fluff. I just remember because it was like the tragedy
I
of it.
didn't know if it was. I didn't think it was Leto. I thought it was his wife that he was trying to save, but I'm not. I don't remember.
No, it was Leto he was trying to save. He was so loyal because he had been
Okay.
loyal to Leto since the Lions coup.
Was he one of the models?
No, yeah, he was the guy with the sword over his shoulder. He was like I think a small or medium base.
Huh.
Runewood.
Could have sworn that his fluff was that he was trying to save his wife, but okay. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. He's the one that had an Umbral Guardian in his shadow because he kept trying to like kill himself, and the Umbral Guardian would pop out and save him
Yep, and
and force
stop
him
him.
to do things. I
Yeah,
remember that part of his fluff because he regretted his actions so much.
I
He
mean,
kept trying to kill himself, and they needed him for future plans.
yeah. That's
And so there was a
wild when you
guardian
think
every
about
so
it.
often that would like pop out of him, stop him from killing himself, and then disappear back into his shadow, warning him never to do it again.
And
And
he
that he would
didn't
always
care.
be watching.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. No,
Yeah,
I thought the
it's
fluff
definitely
of the
pretty messed
Infernals
up.
was good. Like
Oh, it's so good.
the fact that Nicaea, that she betrayed, totally makes sense. Like the fact that they kept showing her
Yep.
husband, his face.
Yep.
And even with Fiora, when they talked about why Fiora would, it's because Nicaea went to her, and then Fiora wanted more power, and she wasn't feeling like she got enough from Menoth. Like
Yeah.
those totally made sense. I just never thought Sloane made sense.
I can see that. I mean, Sloane's deal was that the man she loved was a trencher, and
Yeah,
he died in the when Crix invaded when Kador invaded the Signar base that Strakov infiltrated in the Mark II fluff,
yeah,
where he infiltrated the canal town and like forced the things open so that when Karchev busted through the wall, they could get into the main city, and then Crix followed right after them.
yeah.
He went missing in that conflict as a trencher that was defending the wall against Kador, and then Crix. And so the Infernals promised her that that they could return him to life or find him and bring him back to her. And she was so distraught by losing him that she agreed, which is
I
the fluff for
yeah.
her.
I feel like that was the fluff for a lot of the characters.
Yeah, X person died, or X person was in tortured and in pain, or um, there's a lot of that going on, and so they sort of gave them hope, and then twisted the little bits of hope to make them do despicable things until they couldn't look back
Yeah,
or go back, which is about right for
I mean it's
an evil
100%
organization.
accurate for them. 100%.
Yeah.
So one of the things I'm
All right.
working on today is my son's. It didn't mix really well. My son's Chimera. Trying to get them fully ready for the table and fully painted
Yeah.
for everything.
We should start letting him paint it, man. Right? Or is he not? Does he not have enough
He
focus
does.
to be able to?
So he does. He's just not as interested.
Yeah. He's interested in the game and the mechanics of the game, and not as much the models in detail. I get that.
Yeah.
I've known
I
people
mean,
like that.
there's adults I know that are very much in that category
Yeah.
where they
His
just,
his name is his name is Tony, and he plays in the the league.
oh,
I don't know if you
no,
ever met Tony.
I don't think I have. No, I
He
just meant that there are people I
yeah,
know who are like, super high and like they're great competitors, but they just painting isn't their thing, and that's okay.
yeah, makes sense.
I mean, I enjoy painting, and like one of the
Yep.
things I try to do for the show is teach people how quick and easy ways to get, painted, so that if painting isn't your thing, let's get you to tabletop level, you know,
Yeah,
so that you can then
makes
show up
sense.
to an IG and crush everybody. Because I've definitely been crushed by people who have armies that are not super awesome, but you know what? They can still beat me at the game, so good.
Yep, it happens.
It does.
All right.
So, you told me about one of your favorite minis. You told me
Yep.
the favorite one recently. What about your favorite of all time?
Ugh. This is hard, Alec, because like I said, I've had 15 Mark III or older armies probably, and I've had some armies multiple times, and I'm on my fifth. Uh, fifth full um, Mark IV army with going into Gravediggers. I've had little snippets of of pretty much all of those armies, but all the Mark IV armies, but I've never actually like really gotten fully into. I've only ever gotten into like 5 armies fully, and I still have 4 of those 5 armies. So I don't know. I mean, that's really tough. I mean,
Well, it
so
doesn't have to.
I
It could be like
probably
because of the fluff of it. It could be
yeah.
because
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of models I like, and a lot of things that I like. If I had to pick one, I think the easy answer would be um, not Drago, but Dragos. He's the attachment, the Manowar attachment for the demo core.
hmm with the double
From
hammers.
with the double hammers. Yeah, him. Um, I like him a lot, and I like him so much, and then sort of how different he looks than the regular sort of Manowar guys did. That I've in Mark III, I modded a full unit of Manowars to go around him, and
Okay.
then when Mark IV happened, I tweaked the unit into 2 units so that because you it went from 5 models to 3, and so
Yep.
I tweaked a 6th, and so I have 2 units of custom demo core. I have 3 units of custom shock troopers. I have custom Kovniks because the Manowar Kovnik that they used to sell was the old metal original Mark one, and they never did a Mark III bigger Manowar like plastic style Manowar Kovnik.
hmm
And so I think my favorite model overall across the different genres is probably the old steam armored Manowars.
Okay.
So I think that would be easier for me to pick, easier to say than pick a specific one. I like the Dragos model a lot, but I also really like some of the ones that I've converted
Okay.
um, over the years. And I think that anytime you personalize a model or a unit to yourself, it has that personal flair, and I think that I prefer that stuff over the some of the characters, even though some of the existing character models are really cool as well.
That's a
Like
fair point.
Fior's character Jack is a good example from Menoth. I
hmm
think it would be easier for me to pick a favorite model in each faction
Okay.
than it would be for me to pick a favorite model overall. Because, like, yeah, it wasn't as cool. I mean, so Behemoth, for example, for Kador, the the in Mark III, there's been 3 versions of him. There was the original, uh, uh, put your left foot in, put your left foot out, put your left
Yeah.
foot in, and shake it all about. Behemoth model, which was cool for the time. It was very awesome. Um, and then they replaced it with the resin and metal one in Mark III that is just like he's big and chonky and looks like he should be on the 80 millimeter base before 80 millimeter bases were a thing.
Yeah.
Um, so I love that model. That model is great. But then there's the Mark IV Behemoth, and that model is fantastic. I will admit that his rules aren't so hot right now, and I've been struggling to paint the last little details of mine because I can't justify putting him on the table, and I paint what I play. So if I can't have him on the table, I have a hard time finishing him. So
I get that.
hopefully he'll get an update, and I'll be able to finish him sometime soon.
If it makes you feel any better, my favorite model that I've ever painted, I don't even own
Uh-huh.
anymore.
I am so behemoth wise, and a lot of the models that I just mentioned. I still own all of them, but that's because Kador's my always army. Um,
hmm
there are a lot of other models for other factions that I really like and have painted and really enjoyed. That I don't own anymore that I miss. Like back in Mark One, I played my first Horde's army was Scorn.
hmm
And I painted a desert yellow and white uh, scheme for my Scorn instead of the red and gold. And I painted the first time I ever wet blended, I painted the skin on a bronze back with actual like grade of bronze color, and I
Mhm.
loved that model, and I so regret selling it. I wish if there was a single model I'd kept from that army, that was the model I wish I had kept because I really like that model.
I sold the slaughterhouse to Richard. I really
Yep.
enjoyed that model. That's oh man,
Yep.
I still think about that. I think that's the only thing I've actually sold. I think I have sold more than that out of that great out of that Grimkin army to like help people finish out theirs. But yeah,
Yep. Well, now it's 3D printable and you have all the files, you're good to go. But
that is true. I
yes,
could
I
print it
understand
in.
that there's models that you painted. And was that before your? Did you paint them before your back injury?
That was before the back. Yeah.
Yeah. So I also have stuff that I painted before my injuries to my hands, where I just am not as good a painter anymore. I don't have the
Dexterity.
steadiness of hand or the ability to sit for long enough to be able to like really focus on a model for like 6 or 8 hours in a row and really do the best the level of job that I was able to paint previously.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
I
I
get
know
that.
that all too well.
Yeah, I get that. That's a thing that you are familiar with.
Man. I think probably the second hardest I've ever painted something was actually also for Richard, and that was his Abyssal King. But I
Yeah.
did that Abyssal King over the period of 2 months, doing like 45 minutes at a time,
Yep.
because again,
That
I
I
can't.
can't understand. I can't understand how you were able to do that. Being able to like paint it for 45 minutes and then put it down for a day or two, and then paint it for 45 minutes and put it down
I
for a
had
week.
to. Like I had
Yeah,
no
I
choice.
know you had to, but I don't. I that still boggles me. I would have stopped and not finished it. I know that you were painting it for somebody else, and so you didn't really have that option. But
I no, I really enjoyed painting it too, though. Like that was the thing is like
yeah,
I really enjoyed it. So like I'd get frustrated at myself because I hadn't like I'd have to take 2 days off and I'd have to
yep,
just sit there and look at it and it'd be on my shelf. And I'm like, man, maybe I could just put the kids to bed early and maybe my back won't hurt as much and I can just paint some more on it. And I'd be
yep,
painting, and I could see my painting degrading, like the quality of my painting degrade
yeah,
as I'd sat for too long. And I'm like, oh, okay, well,
yep,
now it's just gonna have to sit there and I'm just gonna have to look at it. I think that was one of the things that like really made me focus on it because I was like, I need to be as precise as possible because like I don't have chance, I'm not gonna have the time to like fix it.
right. Makes
But I think
sense.
he's still really happy with that. I think he still
Yeah. Yes.
likes it. So
Yeah,
that means that I did a good job.
you did.
Trying to think about what else I like personally that I've enjoyed painting. Um, Resnick 2. I've painted that
Oh
model
yeah.
4 times.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, not by
I'm
choice
not
though.
and I am not envious of that.
Not I didn't want to repaint him 4 times, but I had to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. That is I'm not jealous of that happening to you that many times, man. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You know what? The last one I was able to find all of the pieces and uh
Yeah.
put him back on, so he is like able to ride again. Not that
Awesome.
I'm gonna use him anymore. I don't think. I thought I was gonna be able to play in the Iron Gauntlet here for this coming Nova, but that's just not gonna happen, and that's
Yeah,
okay.
no. I mean, there will be other opportunities.
Oh, absolutely. Like I'm still gonna bring my War Machine stuff. Um,
Yeah.
like so that if I want to try to get a demo game in, or not demo, like a quick steamroller game in, or just some fun.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's. I don't think he's gonna take to the table in earnest again. Actually, I guess I played against him the other day. I used
Yeah.
him against a guy who I thought was like a competitive player because the guy's like, oh hey,
Yeah.
I used to play competitive. I was like, perfect, I'll bring a competitive list. I didn't realize he played competitive Mark II and hasn't been back
Mhm.
since. So he made a list, a Mark IV that was a legal list, but then
Yeah,
he just like the game has changed since Mark II,
it has.
and me
It really
bringing
has.
a Krios list and a Resnick list for the two lists for a steamroller, he was just like, "Oh man." I was like, "I'm sorry. We should have started with, hey, you haven't played in, you know, 10
Yep.
years. Let's do some fun. I came for blood, and I shouldn't have."
It happens.
Yeah. But actually, now he is getting into New Kador, and I think he's
Oh,
going to get into New Kador, and he's also looking at Storm Legion.
very cool.
Yep. So he is one of our locals up here. And then we also have a couple other guys another guy who's looking at one guy's looking now at Old Umbry, and then one guy is looking at Wintercore. And then we have
Yeah,
one
man.
guy who is fallen in love with Fane.
We have a guy down here named Eric that really likes. He's an old school Ret player, and as long as I've known him, he was a Ret player, and so he played a Mark II. He played a little bit Mark III with us when it first started, and then he sort of fell out in like maybe early before COVID, probably like 2018 or 2019. He sort of stopped being able to come out. He got
Mm-hmm.
busy with life and other things,
It happens.
family and things. It does. Um, and he came back recently, and he brought a bunch of his friends, which was really great because it was sort of like when a couple people were leaving, a couple people got deployed. So it was sort of like when we needed a jolt of people, he sort of showed up, and that was great. And in that, like, maybe 4 months since he showed up, um, he's pulled out his old Retribution, played some Retribution, bought somebody's Dusk, started playing Dusk. Now, he's playing Dusk right now in our Journeyman League. As second the Journeyman League ends, he's switching to Fane.
Oh no.
He's already been buying into Fane and getting quite a lot of stuff and having his friends give him stuff
Mm-hmm.
and the people he's got into the game and get him things, which so he's got quite a lot of Fane and it's not even all out yet. And now he's already we have our locals on Sundays and I went to our locals on Sundays this week and he was looking at he was like, "Oh, I heard that I've always wanted to do Crix and I heard that they're doing Crix STLs um, in November, and so by November, I definitely want to check out Crix." And he was already looking at Crix stuff, and he hasn't even started playing Fane yet. So
Dude, I've seen many people who do that, who they will just jump an
yeah,
army, and it's okay. You know what? The game stores love
I
those
mean
people because they just keep buying
that was
stuff.
yeah, I mean that was me in Mark III. I mean it really was. I was updating all the armies I had stuff for, and I was the organizer and sort of felt like I wanted to. There was stuff we were trying to play competitively, and there was stuff that no one was playing in the meta, and so like I picked up the two most popular competitive scoring lists just because I was able to get them cheaply, somewhat cheaply through eBay and other and like Facebook Marketplace kind of stuff, and from our
Hmm.
store. And we needed something to be able to practice into,
Yeah.
so it happens.
Oh, it does. The number of times I've seen people jump armies, I can remember both in the when I was at
Yeah,
the
which
Fayetteville
is
store or even in Germany
yeah,
watching people just jump, and I was like,
yeah.
that gets so
I mean,
expensive.
which makes the fact that you were able to stay and just play Menoth for as long as you have even that much more impressive.
Well, yeah, it's I think that it is the dedication that I have had to the faction. I like that in the fluff they've been the underdogs, and I mean
Yeah,
there's a reason
that
that they
makes
kind
sense.
of are the underdogs. They don't always necessarily make the most
Yeah.
friends.
Well, by make the most friends, you mean make the most enemies? They make the
Yeah.
most enemies all the time?
Hold on. There are people who make more enemies than them, but
Well, yeah. Those are the bad guys. I mean,
yeah.
you're technically the bad guys, but those are the bad guys, Alec.
I know, I know. I always thought it was humorous that in 3.5 IKRPG in Iron Kingdoms,
Hmm.
we were lawful evil, and people were like, "That means you're bad." I'm like, "Well, yes and no.
We are, but
Morally, we're bad, but legally, we're good." And people were like, "That's a very technical answer." I was like, "It is."
we're the less worse bad guy.
Yes. Uh,
Uh, than
well,
Crix.
yeah. Well, like that's the joke. It's like if you have to deal with
Yep.
like in other game systems, there's like, everyone is evil. And it's like, well, do you want to deal with the lawful evil? Do you want to deal with the chaotic evil, the neutral evil? It's like, who do you want to deal with?
Yep.
Honestly, I thought they were, and I'm still kind of hoping a little bit that they kind of give us a little bit of a redemption arc. They did that a little bit with Tristan Durant,
Yeah. So
and
that's the interesting thing about your army is that the current position that Menoth is in, there's three parts of your army sort of spread out
hmm
amongst various areas, and each one of them is one of the different aspects of Menoth. And so, like the Tristan Durant City of Walls is sort of like the neutral good, or
I'd say
the
lawful
less
good.
evil. The I mean, they could be chaotic good. They're sort of the good guy version of Menoth, where Fiora, who is in the City of Flame, is like evil. She's
Oh,
chaotic evil. She's
she is evil. She is, yeah.
yeah. She's the evil. Um, where like um the existing Sulmanites that are left, they're more like lawful evil or neutral
Yeah,
evil,
I'd say they're,
or
yeah, that
or
they're
even
probably lawful.
even like they're lawful, but they're either chaotic or evil. They're they have a code that they live by, and they function by. And a lot of the pure goodness elements of Menoth and the pure evil elements of Menoth have split off and gone off in other places, and they're sort of what's left. And from what I understand, I think that that's the army we're going to see. We're going to see the sort of the old Menoth reborn,
hmm
which I'm interested in when you get them in October. But I also think it'd be really cool to see the City of Walls or the City of Flame at some point as well.
I'd like to see the City of Walls. I'd like to see Tristan's because I think that's where we're gonna get the Hordes version of them, and I want to see that. I think that's gonna
Yeah,
be cool. Um, but also, the fact of having potentially, well, I know that they said Krios is not going to be playable. That he's, because now that he is taken up the
yeah, yeah.
role of hierarch, he is the king. He's not taken
See,
step.
actually, Hierarch,
So I believe he is
is
in the
he?
most recent fluff. I believe in the in
Huh.
the the
I didn't realize that they had. I know that he is the whatever the highest level of the knighthood is that was like below Hierarch. I know he
intercessors.
has that role, but I didn't think that he was going to accept Hierarch. If he's
I
the
thought
Hierarch now, that would be really cool.
I
I
thought
mean, I
he
don't I
had.
don't
I
know.
might be wrong. I thought
I
he
I, I
had
really don't know.
because I thought it said he was. I thought the term was he was
I mean, he's
ruling from Immer, which would say he's
yeah
the hierarch. But I guess he could still be doing that as intercessor because that's what he
yeah yeah.
did through the entire um, campaign north. But the fact that you have Malchius following him, you have Resnick following
Well, I
him.
mean,
Yeah,
the campaign north, there was still that Severius was still alive.
no, Sevi died pretty far. Well, he died on the
Well,
journey north, if you remember, or in
no,
the
no,
north.
it
He died.
wasn't
He
on the
died in
journey
the
north. It
north.
was after they had already taken the city, after they had already converted the Crucible Guard fortress into their own fortress. He actually died after.
It was at the Tower of Judgment against the Scorn.
Yeah, Yeah,
Yeah, no,
against the
no, but
Scorn, but
I
it
meant,
wasn't. It wasn't during the North. It wasn't during the conquest of the Northern Crusade. It was actually they've already succeeded
when I say
because
going north, I meant when they went back north to help with the gate. Because if you remember, they went to help out at the gate as well. Well, actually, some of them helped out at the gate. Some of them went through the gate, and then some of them tried to
but
murder
that was
everyone at the gate.
that was way before. That was way Sevi died way before that.
Yo, yeah, yeah, I know, but I meant
Yeah.
that's when Krios was really kind of taking his power on. But and that's where
Oh well,
he
no,
like
Krios and Fiora were fighting. Krios and Fiora were fighting at
well
that point.
Krios,
They had
but
gone to the gate.
but Krios was technically supposed to be intercessor, and you had the Visigoth
Eh.
council that were supposed to be in charge, with Krios being intercessor
So
of the
the way
exemplars of
I
the time.
remember that fluff was that they had gone north because they were trying to escape because the Infernals were chasing them, and there was a lot of people led by Tristan, and Fiora and Krios had both of their forces, and they were trying to decide what to do. And Fiora was like, "We're going to go do this,"
Yeah, she
and
said we're
Krios
gonna
was
go
like, "No,
murder
we're
them
going
all.
to go do this." And Krios and Fiora had started. They had started like skirmishing, and there'd been like a skirmish that had broken out. And Tristan basically said, "No, I'm taking the people, and we are going into the. We are leaving here and finding trying to find safety." And Fiora and Krios went like, "No, you're not. They are our people. They are. Once we have figured this out, they will be our citizenry." And that's when the Paladin showed up and was like, "No, we're leaving. You can fight us now, or we will we will kill all of you, or you can stay behind and have your petty squabbles. But we're leaving now."
Yeah, no, no,
And
that's
that
that
then
is
Tristan
pretty
and the people and the Paladins left, and that's how I remember that fluff.
that's pretty accurate to how it was.
But I don't think
It's
that at that point Krios was the
he was
because
no,
Fiora had been angling for Hierarch, and
well,
they
yeah,
the council
but
hadn't decided.
well, no, they hadn't made him that yet. He was still intercessor, but he was still intercessor was in charge
But,
of.
but Fiora was angling for Hierarch, and she was leading.
Yeah, but
She
so
actually the reason Tristan Durant became sovereign Tristan Durant was because she promoted him as the youngest sovereign to get his backing and the people that was with him. He didn't end up going along with that, but that
yeah,
was her role for
yeah,
that.
that backfired on her a lot. Well, actually, if you
Yeah,
think about it,
it did.
everyone turned against her.
Oh,
Uh,
most people did. Yes, I agree.
well, so Nicaea officially betrayed her and is in the wind. Thyra is following Krios. Um, what's his name? Pyrrhus.
Are
Pyrrhus
you sure that
stabs her.
Thyra is following Krios? I
Yeah.
don't think
That,
she is. But I mean, I haven't been
no,
able to
no.
keep up with them enough fluff. I don't
So
have the IKRPG fluff for them. So
so Thyra is following Krios. Judgment of Martyrs is in um the new army. They showed Judgment of Martyrs too.
did they?
Yep.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, he's in there.
But I
He's
also haven't been paying as close attention as you.
yeah, I those things drop. I'm like, oh, look at this. Also, it's humorous the number of people when something drops. I get like 8
The
different
last thing
Facebook
I saw was
messages.
Malachus.
Oh, okay. Well, no, this was before that. This was you see, Blood of Martyrs 2 was during the initial.
Uh,
You see
I
a
didn't see
sketch of
that.
him. Okay. Um,
Yeah, I don't remember that.
it was during the announcement. There was a sketch of him, Blood of Martyrs 2.
Okay.
It was just called Blood of Martyrs, but we already have a Blood of Martyrs, so we assume it's Blood of Martyrs 2.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh, so what I've been painting, I haven't actually talked about. We've been talking, but I've actually been painting. So what I've been
Yeah.
painting here is, I actually don't remember which guy this is for, Chimera, but so I dry brushed purple, then I dry brushed a red, gold, on him. Then I
Mm-hmm.
did a red brass on his body. Then I painted the wings red, and then I did gold dots on the little nubbins. And when I tell people that you can get something painted in about 30 minutes and it can be tabletop ready, That's tabletop ready, and it doesn't look bad. It's more than 4 colors. It's based. I mean, I got to paint the rocks and stuff, but this would be able to be played in any Iron Gauntlet. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
one
I've
of
been
the my.
going.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that one of my points of channel is that you can paint, a large war beast in 30 to 45 minutes, and will it be perfect? No,
Mm.
but by doing different colors of shading, thinning out my paints, you know, like this is my palette. That's it. I've just been thinning them out and mixing, and
Yeah,
it's.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, and it just works, and it's one of those things like just it's not bad. I mean, I can't
Yeah.
obviously go back and touch it up further more, and I probably will. But this is just I wanted to make sure we talked about painting. Now you've been painting Hasker beautifully. You're doing all the
Yeah.
different colors and mixing and blending and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
I'm So I use a variety of paints, mostly P3, either new or old P3. I have a little bit of other stuff, like people saw me use a little bit of contrast paint in a couple of places, and I have a couple of colors of Pro Acryl that I use that I tried Pro Acryl before the new P3 came out. I switched from old P3 to Pro Acryl, and then as soon as new P3 came out, I regretted buying Pro Acryl. But there's a couple of colors that I just can't find anywhere else that I still
Mm-hmm.
use. Um, but what I've painted so far, I've shaded. I'm sort of so when I paint, I have three stages. In the first stage, I paint and I get to like what I call playable, which is like 1 to 2 layers of color, a wash, maybe a highlight. But I just sort of get the whole model to a point where like I understand I want to do with the colors later on,
Mm-hmm.
and make it so that I can put it on the tabletop and have paint on it effectively and look
Mm-hmm.
okay. Um, my second level is when I start shading and highlighting. On him, I'm still sort of developing the color scheme, and so I've highlighted up the grays on on his undersuit, um, and done a little bit of shading in some of the recesses and all with a little bit of contrast paint. Um, and now I'm sort of sketching the shading and highlight of the green cape out. That will eventually be pouches and sandbags and stuff like that in the army.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll probably go switch to the purple after that, or maybe the face. Um, but right now, I'm sort of figuring out. I have a basic idea of what colors I want to use. I want to use like blue gray cloth, um, green in this case on his cape, but in the long run, it'll be stuff for like backpacks and sandbags and stuff like that on the models.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some red details, grenades, ammo, stuff like that. Um, Bronze and silver medals, sort of a tan brown leather, um, and then trench basing and other effects as I choose. But I'm sort of still, and then purple armor plates, and I'm sort of still trying to figure out I want the final look to be. But I have a good idea of where I want it to be, and so I'm adding a shadow and highlight until I find that, and then I'll refine the actual painting process.
Okay.
But I've been using a variety of techniques: two brush blending, layering, a little bit of wet blending, a little bit of contrasty kind of paint. So
Yeah, that looks really good.
yep.
I'm just doing. I'm not really doing two brush blending right now. I'm just doing wet blending on the palette, which it
Yeah, I
works.
don't use a wet palette, and I've tried to. I know that that's sort of like the vogue in thing to do. I use a dry palette, and I have an eyedropper that I keep. You can see is very used a lot. Has a lot of paint from my hands and stuff that are transferred to it. The tip's
Mm-hmm.
broken a couple of times, and it's a mixture of. When I paint 1 or 2 models at a time, and so I want the paint and I use a lot of like washes and things, and so I want it to dry quicker. And so my mix is it's actually just not water. It's about a third water, a third rubbing alcohol, and then fill up to the like maybe not the full the full third, but a little like fill up until it's the liquid is sort of like has this sort of white tone to it, but it's matte medium.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so when I add this in, it thins the medium in my paint. I can add water easily by putting a couple drops in the palette, but it also helps the paint dry quicker on the model, and so I'm able to paint more in the limited time I have before I because of my diabetes and my health. I can't sit for 6 or 8 hours like I used to be able to,
I
and so I
miss those
have
times.
to do everything I can to speed up and maximize the limited amount of time I'm able to do in the 1 to 2 sittings maximum I get in a day if I'm able to paint more than once a day.
Oh no, I get that completely.
Yeah, so I understand a wet palette. I understand what it does. I understand, but I've just never been able to adopt it. And I have one sitting right next to me that has a bunch of like water splashes on it from my paint cup. But
Mm-hmm. So I think I
yeah,
got into wet palettes. I don't know, 2000, probably 14, 2015. Which I'm
okay.
like, that wasn't that long ago. And then I think about it, I'm like, oh
I
wait, no, that
mean,
actually that
yeah,
was that was
it's
a,
10 years.
minute ago.
Yeah, I mean they've been in vogue. I've tried to use them a couple times. They started being popular, I think, in like around 2010, maybe 2008 or so.
Yeah, I remember when I first
But
saw them come out, and like I didn't
and I
understand how to use it at all.
yeah, I just haven't ever been able to adapt my paint style to it. So
No, hey,
here I
my
am.
thing is all about paint what's comfortable for you and paint what makes you happy, and that is the most important thing.
Yeah.
So then, Jay, what do you listen to while you paint?
Um. So primarily, I do one of two things. I either watch a TV show that I've watched a lot previously,
Mm-hmm.
and so that I can follow along with what's going on and not have to look at the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So an anime that I know really well, or a Netflix show that I've watched a dozen times, and so that I can, walk away and come back and know what's going on. So I don't actually have to look at it specifically. So that's a one thing. Recently, I've been into YouTube posted anime music, AI music, so music that's inspired by other things.
Okay.
And so it's not like a song that's going to just distract me or something that's going to that like music that I know that I'm going to want to sing along to, but it's something that I can jam to and are similar to something else that I like.
Okay.
I've actually been using that for uh, exercising and painting recently.
Okay. I know
So
recently
like
I've been
music
doing
inspired
the
by Metallica or music inspired by Linkin Park or I also listen to a lot of like electronic kind of stuff.
recently
Breakbeat being my favorite. Go ahead.
I've been listening to it's not like white noise. It's supposed to be helping with ADHD and focus.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, the certain frequencies. And that's what I've been
Gotcha.
listening to. And it does that and then it mixes it with like heavy metal.
Mm.
And it's surprisingly
How's it working for you?
it actually works really well. It's surprising. I actually will sometimes have it on when I'm editing videos now. So I'll have that on in the background, and then I'm like, oh wait, did the video pick it up? I'm like, no, it didn't. Okay, we're good. So I have to make sure that that source never gets picked up either when I'm recording or when I'm doing other
Mm-hmm.
stuff. But it works
Yeah, that makes sense.
surprisingly well. It's, reprogramming the brain, which I'm like, man, maybe
You
that's
and
a
your
bad thing.
fancy noise canceling headphones.
Hey, it works. It works
It
so
does.
well.
It
It's
does.
Man, the number of times when like I'm doing something and like my wife will come down and she'll like tap me on the shoulder. I'm like, "What? I didn't even hear you." And she's like, "Well, yeah." And I was like, "And no one on the group chat heard you either because it cancels out everything in the room and then I can't hear you either."
Yeah.
But that's like way better than what it used to be. Like you remember some of the first episodes we recorded of the Atlanteans where you
Yes,
would
I
hear like
edited your kids out of the background.
you'd
Yes.
hear the kids or the fan or my AC, and now I can
Yep.
have like the fan on high, and nothing. You can hear the dogs barking, nothing. Like short of like the kids being like right here talking, you're good to
Yep.
go. which is kind of awesome.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, so we've been going for about 55 minutes, which I try to stay under an hour for each episode. So I wanted to
Okay.
say thank you so much for coming on out and painting along with
Thanks
me.
for having me.
And I really do appreciate it. It looks like you got some really good painting done. So, Jay,
Yep.
where can people find you?
So I'm one of the hosts of the Atlanteans. So you can find us on our podcast. We have a Facebook group, Instagram, and you can find all that stuff from the link tree in our show in the show notes for an Atlanteans episode. I'm also the organizer for the Hampton Road Atlanteans, or the now just the Atlanteans in Norfolk, Virginia, and so we play on Sundays at Atlantis Games and Comics in Norfolk, Virginia. Come on out, join us for a game if you're in the area.
Well, thank you so much again. And everyone should
Yeah,
stop by if
absolutely.
they are in the area. Atlantis Games and Comics is amazing. That was my game store for like 3 years. Those are great
Yep.
people. And I think you guys would all love to play a game against Jay. So thank you everyone again for coming out. And I will see you all later. Bye.